Hi everybody. I just wanted to welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. So for me to, continue creating meaningful content, I would love your support. So kindly subscribe, like, share, and so that we can grow together. So that I can, continue doing what I'm doing right now. Yeah. So I would really appreciate if you can just go ahead and, subscribe. Yeah. So today I wanted to really focus on, talking about tips on having to pass NCLEX. Yeah, so when I started this entire process, the first thing that people started, saying is that, oh, it's a very, tough exam. It's hard. A lot of international nurses get to fail it. And for sure, when you look at the statistics and all that, you'd actually, see that it does not favor international nurses. Yeah. But then again, when you look further, you find that there are also people that are trained and educated here in the United States that get to fail the exam. So you know that it's a very tough exam. So you really need to prepare for it adequately. So this is coming from a person that had to take NCLEX twice. I took NCLEX 2 times. The first time I took NCLEX, I failed with 75 questions. And when you fail with 75 questions, you know that you did so badly. Yeah. And then the second time I took it, I passed with 75 questions. Then again, you know that when you pass with 75 questions, you did so well. Yeah, because that is a bare minimum. I mean, that's the minimum number of questions that you can get. Yeah. So the first time I took NCLEX, I'm gonna tell you all that so that you know where I'm coming from, and you know that this is coming from a pure heart that is concerned and just wants you to win. Yeah. And there's no shame in failing. I'm gonna put this out there that we just get to learn a lot. There's no shame in failing at all. And then NCLEX does not define the kind of person that you are, the kind of nurse that you're going to be. It does not define that. And then I've also seen people that were doing so well in school that have been struggling to pass this exam. Yeah, so you are going to do so well. You're going to pass. I just wanted to put this out there that NCLEX does not define the kind of nurse are going to turn out. I know people that have had to take this exam several times and they are great nurses. So it does not define who you are as a nurse. And no, yeah, sometimes it's just you not knowing. Sometimes it's just about having exam anxiety. Sometimes it's just about, the strategies. You probably didn't really utilize great strategies and all that. So I'm just here to tell you that this is an exam that can be done. All right, so take it from a person that had to take this exam twice. First time passing with 75, first time failing with 75 questions, and the second time I passed it with 75 questions. So either way, I've been on both ends of the, I've been on both ends of the world, so I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so what did I do wrong the first time? Okay, so the first time I took this exam, I had so much going on in my life, personal life, and just everything else. I was trying to make a decision on relocating. I was trying to do this and that. I had just a lot on my plate. I had not prepared myself fully for this exam. I did not read. I did not study the way I was supposed to for this particular exam. So I'm just putting it out there that you need to be in the right mindset as you prepare for NCLEX. Okay. So I think for me, the first time I took it, I was not prepared. Yeah, I was not prepared. I'm going to put this out there. I was not prepared. I had so many things on my plate. I had just, my life was just in a chaos. It was just a lot going on. Yeah, so that contributed tremendously to how I performed the first time I took it. Yeah, and then even the time they sent me an email to tell me that I had failed, I was not really surprised because I somehow saw it coming. You know what, but you go into an exam room and then you find that most of the things that, are coming, most of the questions that are coming at you are stuff that you don't even know how to answer. I was just like, I was in that state. Even the time they told me that you have failed math, I was not really surprised because I somehow saw it coming. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. The second time I said, one, I did not have money to go back for a second attempt. I can promise you that. So most of my money that I had used to, to go and receipt for this exam were monies that my family, put together to say, go back and try again. Don't give up. because they had seen how far, where I was coming from, how far I had gotten to that point. They just didn't want me to, they didn't want me to give up. Yeah, so I just want to put this out there that this is an exam that is doable. Okay, so the second time, what did I do right? All right, I had to prepare a schedule I had to make a plan on how I was going to study and what I needed to do. All right, so I came up with a plan on my schedule. All right, I was working, I had kids at home. So, and then we used to do nights where I was in Zambia. We used to do nights, 7 nights on, 7 nights off. All right, so I would carry books wherever I'm going. I just had to shut off, outings. I had to shut off going out and all that. I just had to just switch off everything and just say, I need to focus on this and pass this exam. I did not have money to go back to rewrite, but people came together and said, here is the money, go and receive, do not give up on your dream. And I thank them for that, And then I had to be in a, I had to be also, I had to be also in a right mindset at that time. I had to be in a right mindset. I had to tell myself that, Martha, you can do this. All right. You have to go in believing that you can do this. All right. I had to tell myself that this is an exam that I can pass. This is an exam that I'm going to pass. And I can assure you that I've written so many exams, but this is the first time I ever failed an exam, like a big exam like this. I've always been that student that gets to pass. I've always been that student. So this was really pretty much a blow, first time failing. And then my emotions were just all over the place. So I had to be in a right state of mind. I had to tell myself that I can do this. I had to believe in me. I had to believe in Martha to say, I can do this. That was the first thing I had to do. And then I had to come up with a plan on how to study. What was I going to do different this second time around? Because I only had that chance. I don't think if I had failed the second time, I would have had the money to go back. With a graded pattern, they'll pay for the first attempt. The second attempt, you sort it out yourself if you fail the first one. So I knew that I had this one last chance. It's just like you get a second chance at life, and then you gotta, do the right thing to go out there and pass. Yeah, so the second time around, of course, right state of mind, and then coming out with a plan. I had to work and I had kids and all that, so I had to come out with a plan. All right, so when I'm working nights, I would carry my books when it's not so busy, read. And then I noticed that I didn't really have much information, or rather much, I didn't know much on content. So I maximized on knowing my content. That's how I got the Saunders comprehensive textbook. Yeah, I read that book like, I read that book like a Bible. I read it from the first page to the very last page. I tackled system by system. I read one system at a time. After reading the system, I would also go at looking at the different conditions that would affect the systems, that system, and then I would look at the different medications that would be used, to treat whatever conditions that affect that system. I did that systematically. And then, Saunders has questions at the end of each chapter. So I did all those questions, and I was just gaining my confidence back because I would do so well on those questions. And also that's what I did. I tackled system by system. I read that book from the first to the last. Okay. And then when I got so confident on my content, after I finished reading that book, I now subscribed with YouTube. With UWorld. I got a UWorld subscription. I got the full one, the one that has two assessments. Yeah. And then I got myself a notebook. I did questions religiously on that app. I did them religiously. I did all the questions. There were over 2,000 questions. I did all of them. The period I was preparing, I would do maybe 75 to about 150 questions in a day. And I would remediate. When I say remediate, I mean you are remediating on everything. Whether you got the question right, whether you got it wrong, remediate. Because you know what? Sometimes you find that you get a question right just because it was a lucky guess. Okay, you just got lucky and you got something right. So you want to read and see to say, oh, okay, I got this one right pretty much because I know it, and then I got this one right pretty much probably because I just got lucky. But so you wanna remediate and know why that question was answered in the way it was answered. So you wanna go back and and just see that to make sure that you're good. Yeah, so I practiced 75 to about 150 questions in a day, and wrote down the important things that I thought I needed to write down. I wrote them down. I got a notebook and put down all the important things that I needed to write down. Yeah, so when I was strong on that, I also, with prioritization and delegation, I got the La Charity textbook, so that, because you have to know, okay, it's not just about answering questions, you have to know prioritization, you have to know all that. So I got that. Also, I also practiced questions on prioritization. I did that as well. Okay, and then I also got Mark Klimek audios. He's good. He explains things so simply, and he just lays it all out there. And then he also has, is it a blue book or something like that? I also tried to access that online from friends. Somebody sent it over. They shared. I also read his yellow and blue books, and then I listened to his audios religiously. Wherever I'm going, I would carry it on my phone, put on headphones, put on headsets, and just listen to his teachings. I did that religiously. I finished. Yeah, so that coupled all together now, I felt ready. Because even the time I was picking out a date now to go and write, I felt ready. I felt prepared, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I got this. So every time I get off work, I would pass through the library, because sometimes home would be noisy with kids, and these were like below 5, so young. They're making noise, they're crying, so you wouldn't really understand that you are doing this for them. So what I would do is that after work, I would go to the library. Yeah, after we got to the library, it was quiet, and you're within that area where everybody else is focused, everybody else has come to study and all that, so you are truly focused. Yeah, so that's what I did the second time around. And believe you me, when I went in to take that exam, I asked it and I passed with 75 questions. Why? Because I was prepared. Another thing was that I was in my right mindset. I worked like somebody that had passed this exam. I felt like somebody that had passed this exam. Yeah, I changed my mindset. I changed the way I thought about NCLEX. I just told myself that this is an exam that was made by fellow human beings like me. So there's nothing special about this exam, and I'm going to pass it. That's it. I went in confident. I came out confident, pretty knowing that I have asked it. The time I was getting back home, I was traveling back home, I got my email from the agency to say, Martha, congratulations, you have passed. I knew it. I felt it. Yeah, so that's what I would just want to put out there, that you have to be in a right mindset. You have to create a plan, a routine on how you're going to study. Okay, you have to be focused and be good on your content. All right, and then you have to practice a lot of questions. All right, put them all together. Practice, remediate all questions. Not just the ones that you got wrong, everything. Write it all down and remediate to make sure that you know what you did, and where you went wrong, and whatever it is that you need to do, so that everything now put together, and then just, yeah. So that notebook that I had made is a notebook that I had used even the time I was going in to prepare for the exam. It's all I needed, because everything that I had learned, everything that I had read, I had put it down in that book, and that's all I need. Wherever I would go, I would just get that book and just remediate, read. This is an exam that you can pass, and you are going to pass. And then being an international nurse, there are certain things that you're not privileged to know. Okay? Yeah, and the people that are educated here in the United States are privileged and lucky, because they are here and, they did their clinic, they can relate. There's so much that I couldn't relate on. A good example that I gave was, applesauce. The way they use potassium pills and put them in applesauce and they just melt away. When I came, I was like, wow, this is nice. I didn't see any applesauce where I was in Zambia. If it's there, then it's just something that I probably didn't, pay much attention to. We don't even use it, especially in hospitals, for those people that can't take medication. But I've noticed that here it's pretty much a good thing and it works well. A lot of people use it to take meds, especially if they have a lot of pills to take. So those are just different practices that you get to experience. And if you've never been educated here, you cannot really relate. So I was able to relate now that I got here. So you're not really privileged as an international nurse. So that's the reason why you have to put in more work. Okay, you have to put in extra work than the people that are educated here. Yeah, but it's an exam that you can do, and I promise that you're going to do it. Believe in yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough, that you have to believe in yourself to say that you got this and you can, you will, and you're going to pass it. Yeah, so I just wanted to encourage everybody. You have to stay calm. You have to be confident. You have to know that, you got this. Yeah, so thank you so much for your time. And I wish you all the best. I pray that you pass. I pray that you pass this exam. It's a doable exam. You have to believe in yourself. You got this. You can. You will. And like I said in the beginning, please subscribe, share with whoever needs to hear this, share with them, and just help out a sister. Let's win together. Let's grow together. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and just put them in the comment section and I'll be able to help where I can. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.